Who's ready to do some partying? Who's ready to do some partying? Nobody ever sings that shit with me. That shit's catchy. Now, I know you guys were saying something with me playing Human Nature, but it's like the smoothest shit I've ever heard, bro. I love Human Nature. I love it. Anyways, it's episode number 3 of this thing I call the Domino Effect podcast. I'm your host, the one and only Jay Shu, and on a weekly basis, I'm bringing you recorded conversations with people I feel got something to talk about. And today is no different as I welcome Ishmael into the building with me. Round of applause for Ishmael, please. We're going to be talking about politics, the state of Columbus, and a whole bunch of other serious topics, while at the same time trying to get to know Ishmael as the person, maybe not the politician. If you haven't already, make sure you check out episode 1 and 2. And as always, if you want to be interviewed or know somebody that needs to be interviewed and on camera, go ahead and send them my way. I'm going to let this rock. We're going to get started in about 20 seconds. That's so much shit to get out every single time. You have no idea.
Yeah, that's a struggle.
You really make me feel like I underdressed. Like, I knew you said you were dressing up, and I said I was dressing up, but we have
Did you expect less from me?
Nah, well, a little bit. Everything but a tie. We have two different definitions of dressing up, man. No sweater vest, something.
It depends on the person.
You do look sharp, though. I appreciate it.
I try.
Even though you didn't dress up for me, I appreciate the attire.
It's part of the job.
Gives me a real professional vibe to this bullshit I do. All right, man. I'm going to try to keep it politically correct because, as I stated, you are involved in politics. Now, when people think politics, people like me, they don't really know what that means. They just think president and campaigns and all that. So if somebody asked you, like, what is it that you do, what would you say to them?
Well, yeah. So it's a little different, because in my, what pays the bills is I currently work for the state of Ohio. I'm actually about to transition to being the community outreach coordinator for the Franklin County Auditor.
Oh, no.
I'm a human. Look, you know me. You know me.
That's big stuff, man. That's big stuff.
But yeah, so that's what I do on that end. But on the other end, I'm outside of my professional capacity. I'm just really big on helping people.
Sure.
People that come from places where I come from. They're not afforded the best opportunities in life, and that's no secret to you.
No, that's facts. That's absolutely facts.
So my goal in my work is making sure people, especially young people, have the same opportunities that I've had, the same opportunities that we see so many important people get, because all it takes is one chance for somebody.
Oh my God, I say that shit all the time, man. That's why you always gotta stay ready, because you never know what can happen. Never. That one opportunity can lead to the next opportunity, so on and so forth, like the domino effect. Sorry about that. You were saying, go ahead about the politics.
No, but that's it. It's all just about making sure people get the chance to get the opportunities that are available to them, because and oftentimes there's so many resources and stuff that people from disadvantaged neighborhoods I grew up in don't even know are there and available to them. That's part of the work that I'm going to be doing with the county auditor's office, is really making sure people know about the work, the opportunities that are there for them.
But it's something they really don't promote it. Of the basic assistance that is afforded to you, you can say SNAP or maybe Section 8, but anything beyond that, they really don't really hear about it. They don't mention it at all. So how would you say, or how would you tell somebody to go about getting that information or getting those resources?
It depends on what you're looking for. The auditor's office specifically, they do everything from making sure that people's dogs are licensed in the county to making sure that people they were really instrumental in making sure people who own homes in the city, in the county, have been able to stay in them in the midst of COVID, where a lot of people have been getting foreclosed on and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's all about just doing the research, because like you said, so often those groups, they're not going to advertise stuff like that
at all.
So sometimes you got to reach for it. So.
Absolutely. Everything, you can find anything out in a split second. You just Google search it now, and it's
there's no excuse for not knowing stuff in the age of Google.
Oh my gosh.
No excuse. Google, Bing, Yahoo, if you that old,
Yahoo. Nobody using Yahoo no more.
Look,
Ishmael.
Whatever floats your boat, man.
All right. So with you having some type of I wouldn't say, well, I would say connection into the city. What are maybe some things that people don't know that Columbus has to offer?
Yeah, so I love the city. People talk shit about Columbus.
All the time,
Like
but
we
it's
know
amazing.
this. We know
Yeah.
this. People talk shit about Columbus, but I love this city because I feel like it has something for everybody. Like
That's
if
for
you
sure.
if you artsy, you got areas to like display that, from like open mic nights to just like different areas in town. Like we got different cultural hubs, German village, Italian village, like just like all of these different spaces. But like we have a lot of programs and things of that nature that are built into the city. Like city council has been working on some dope stuff over the past few months and really year. Like one of the councilwomen, Shayla Favor, she's been doing like a ton of work, especially on like affordable housing, like making sure people aren't getting evicted out here, making sure people aren't similar to like what the county's doing, losing their homes. Like there are like people who like in local offices who are making sure that people can get like affordable health care. So yeah, I'd say that like if you're out there and like you need help, make sure you're taking advantage of, like, go to columbus.gov, like look up those programs. There's help for every kind of situation.
There is,
So
because I went on the website trying to apply for some assistance. We'll just leave it at that. And there's like a whole, if you go on the side of the columbus.gov website or just any Ohio assistance, there's a whole bunch of
tons
links.
of stuff.
If it takes you one time to just look in to see what's all available to you.
Tons of stuff. Yeah, for sure.
So even though we're highlighting Columbus for what it has to offer, there's been a lot of, for politically correct reasons, controversy that goes on in
Dude,
Columbus.
you my friend.
All right, there's a lot of bullshit that goes on in Columbus, man. There's a lot of like, not even just crime. It's just like it's the fact that it's murders. There's so many murders that it becomes to the point where it seems normal. Like you go on the news and you almost expect to see some type of shooting that's happened or a robbery, and so what would you? Let me not even ask you. What's your thoughts on that? Like, how do you feel where we stand with all the shootings and the differences between the people and the police?
It's tragic, man. It's tragic. We just saw it in December, like when we had Casey Goodson Jr. be like murdered by a Franklin County Sheriff's deputy in front of his grandmother and a young child while walking into his house. And then we saw Andre Hill 2 weeks later, I believe, an unarmed black man be killed while standing in the garage of his home.
Because they thought it was a gun.
Because they thought it was a gun, and then left him to bleed out there on the ground.
If I could just interrupt, I don't understand. If you are a trained police officer, you should be able to tell the difference between a gun and a cell phone. And if you're not able to distinguish the difference between a gun and a cell phone, you probably not really should be in the business of making decisions on like split making decisions, because literally it was a life altering decision because of something that you thought was there or may have just said to do whatever. But it's crazy that we focus on like the end, but the lack of what's the word I'm looking for? Just like the lack of knowledge that what you did, or what the lack of training that went into that.
And then just the excuses that come after.
Yeah, man, it's every excuse in the book.
Yeah, so when I see these situations, it breaks my heart. I used to work with the brother of Casey Goodson Jr. Breland's a dope dude. So that one hit kind of close to home. So when we see these, and like me as a young black man, like you as a young black man, it's like when I see those types of things, it's like that could be me. That could easily be me.
That's exactly
like So it's really unfortunate. I'm glad that we've seen movement. We've seen movement on Andre Hill's case. Still haven't gotten justice for Casey Goodson Jr.
That's what I was just about to say, because they haven't even proceeded to do anything with that.
And every platform I'm on, I messaged his mom recently, like in the past week, and like I told her, I was like, every platform I'm on, I'm bringing up his name. Yeah. I was like, because the issue that happens with the black community and just the Black Lives Matter movement as a whole is we lose interest when the news lose interest. I gave a speech at the protest last year where we was like, we won't get movement if we don't stay consistent after the news stops recording on stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just, there's another story the next day, so lose traction of what was built. But like you said, you got to stay persistent in your message, and the only way that you're able to do that is by continuously talking about it on platforms.
Absolutely.
Being active. I mean, I'm not going to act like I'm an activist, but I see people out there proactively spreading the message, painting it on, bridges and on hanging up signs and stuff, and hopefully that's enough to really to get something going. Do you believe that all that people do actually can actually create change, or?
I believe that it goes to a certain extent. I was being interviewed on a podcast that my friend, that another friend of mine has a couple weeks back, and like I was telling her, I was like, we have to get to a point as a movement where like the internet activism stops, because it's like I can tweet out justice for Casey Goodson, justice for Andre Hill, justice for Breonna Taylor, justice for Ahmaud Arbery as many times as I want, but if I'm not following up with action, it's like, where's that getting us?
Yeah.
It's like, if we've gone all these years where people are constantly being killed by the police over and over and over again, and we can tweet, we can post, we can go to the protest and scream Black Lives Matter, and nothing changes. What makes you? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yes,
so it's like, when are you going to follow up with action? When are you going to request a meeting with the head of the Franklin County Sheriff's Department? Yeah. When are you going to get meetings with the mayor of the city of Columbus, who has jurisdiction to look over, and some jurisdiction over being able to fire the chief of police? Like, we have to follow up with action. That's my big thing.
So, but for the average person like me, like I'm one of them, what you would call like the internet activist, because I'll comfortably be at home and I can say something on a social media platform, but to actually go down there and be around the situation, and to being, some people don't even want to be in contact with the police. They just want to avoid them completely. So, I mean, what would you say the call to action would be? What would be your way of creating change if it was up to Ishmael?
If it was up to Ishmael, we would have leaders in law enforcement realize that, being black isn't a crime.
Sure. That's number one. Let's get that clear. That's at least number one. Number
one. But if the advice that I can give to people that don't necessarily like that, because don't get me wrong, like I, as a black man, every time I see a police officer in my rearview mirror, I clench the wheel.
You get a little nervous.
There's a whole function set up on my phone where I say, "Hey Siri, I'm getting pulled over," and she starts recording. She sends the location of where I'm at to my parents and my immediate family, and shoots a text and say to the designated people. So it's not I work in government. It's sad
that it's gonna come to that, where you got to just cover your bases like that. Like,
it's unfortunate, but it's the world that we live in as of now. So
as of now, I like that.
So you gotta be. If you don't have optimism, man, what you
gotta have optimism and hope. I mean, that's the only thing that gets you through the day sometimes.
Yeah. So I think that like there's tons of things that you can do. There are organizations that literally all over the country, all over the world, that are doing things like pushing like petitions that you can sign virtually, that are like demanding action from like elected officials and police departments and things of that nature. Like, it's like, even if you don't want to come into contact with the police physically, there's like a million different things that you can look up as far as like even like scripts that are written out. If you like all it takes is like bombarding the Columbus Police Department, like making sure that you're calling them like with phone calls.
I ain't doing no bombarding, no damn the police department.
Not in person, my dude. Not in person.
If I see a cop like sitting somewhere or he's driving behind me, I'm completely rerouting where I'm going. Like, I will hit an immediate left, then hit a right, then hit the left again, and circle back. And the worst thing is when he's still sitting there. He watched you do all that dumb shit. Now he's definitely get behind you. Worst fucking thing to do. If they're behind you, just keep driving normal. They're not gonna do nothing to you.
And it breaks my heart to even hear you say that, because like I know you, like you ain't up to no shady stuff. So like,
I'll be in there a little bit. I ain't gonna say I ain't.
I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt on your platform, man. But yeah. So like I said, there's resources out there, everything from petitions to scripts that you can use as far as like making calls to elected officials and police departments and sheriff's departments and all that good stuff. So there's just tons of different ways.
So I don't want to just limit, what you have going on just to the state of Columbus. Is there anything that maybe I haven't mentioned that you have going on career-wise, or anything upcoming that you want people to be looking out for?
Yeah, so I'm working right now with like leaders, community leaders, and elected leaders around the city, in a formative process of putting together like this thing that this program that really focuses on educating young people from specifically disadvantaged neighborhoods in Central Ohio about what the system is, what the system does, because like so often, and I talked to my friend about this recently, we see like, for example, when Casey Goodson Jr. got killed, we had people calling like the county commissioner saying that he should fire the police officer that killed him. Like that's not his job.
Just we can say it.
Yeah, like I don't like to give murderers, you know.
My fault.
Like that's my thing. That's my thing. But you know, like they're calling like the county commissioner asking for a sheriff's deputy to be fired. Like that's the wrong person. He's the person that you want there when they make a lawsuit because he helps. Like they help, you know, kind of determine how much money the family can get. So while we're busy tearing down the people that look like us, you know, downtown because we don't think that they're, you know, making the right moves and doing what we're supposed to do. Those are some of the most influential people that can really help us get, not necessarily, you know, that justice on the end of firing people, but they can get the family a check. And, you know, a check is never
a bad thing.
You know, compensation for someone's life, but like it don't hurt. So yeah, so it's about, the program is all about making sure our youth know who to go to for what. And not just that, but also just getting people, you know, and getting them at a young age to be used to being in places of power with people that make decisions. Because those same people that like we see as these distant figures on the news, they put their pants on just like you and me.
I know.
Like regardless of what title goes in front of their name, these people are humans.
That's why I feel empowered just listening to you. That's why I wanted to bring you on, because That just gave me goosebumps, but like I'm about to go change the world and shit. Like But all right, so we're gonna wrap that up. We got to know you professionally. Now it's my favorite part of the show where I get to know you a little bit personally.
Oh shoot.
Just gonna ask you a couple questions here. You know, keep in mind that you are a government employee, but just give the people a little bit of a good answer, okay? So, what high school did you go to?
The Mifflin High School, the best high school in the Columbus City School District.
Don't say the
Mifflin High School, home of the Mifflin High School Punchers. I rep Mifflin hard.
I'm sorry, the who?
The Punchers.
That was y'all mascot?
That's our mascot. Tried and true, man.
Was it Fist?
No, it's so it's actually like old school like lingo for like a cowboy of sorts. Like, but like, and the cowboy is basic. Like the West High School got cowboys. Like we're the Punchers. That's our thing.
Ishmael.
The mascot basically looked like Django now, fam. Like, it didn't look like that when I graduated.
What? Oh, that.
I went back to the game and I was like, wow, y'all done changed.
The only people I know from Mifflin are what they would consider bad people. So I would.
I came out of Mifflin, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. What age did you start driving?
Legally. I started.
Legally.
I didn't get my learner's permit until I was 18. Actually, I got. Well, I
got was bumming rides the whole time. That was you.
I was like the Uber dude, the Lyft dude. The first time I drove
17, 18.
Yeah.
I gotta get where I'm going.
Like I took the bus. I did whatever I had to do. You know, like I didn't come from one of those families where like mom could just like buy me a car. So it was just kind of like there wasn't really a need to do it because I wasn't working a job that could afford a car. So you know.
Good point. What was your favorite year of school? At Mifflin, I don't know if you would have a favorite year. What's your favorite year of school?
No, senior year of high school.
Come on, everybody loves senior year.
Everybody loves senior year, but like, look, I had the fewest amount of classes. I hung out. I was a band nerd in high school. That was my thing. So like, hung out in the band room most of senior year. Only had like 2 classes to take.
You played the cello?
No, I can't play a stringed instrument to save my life. Not at all.
You're more like
I'm a wind instrument dude.
Is that like clarinets?
Yeah. Clarinet, tuba. I can do a little stuff.
Flute and tuba is the same thing?
No, clarinet, tuba. Like, you trying to mix up my.
So I always wondered, is the clarinet and the flute and the recorder the same thing?
No.
They're just like no. All right. What's your favorite? Or what's 3 things that you do every day?
I pray every day. My connection with God is real important to me. I read every day. Like at minimum, like 30 minutes, like of just like reading. This is my way to like just.
You read every day.
Every single day.
Okay.
Every single day. It's my way to just like chill out. And what else do I do? I walk for a minimum a mile daily because I have a dog.
I gotta switch this question. Everybody be
No, I have a dog, so I gotta.
So you walk, pray, and read every day.
I do.
Okay.
I promise I'm not that boring, but those you ask what I do every day. It's not boring.
I mean.
You ask what I do every day.
It's your life. It's your life. What's a childhood dream that died out?
Ooh,
exotic dancer.
No, I wanted to be the president as a kid and working on a presidential campaign.
That died out? You on your way? You got the suit?
I have no desire to be the president of the United States anymore.
It's a lot of work.
It's too much.
All right, so we're going to switch it up and do these rapid-fire questions. If you haven't, seen the clips before, I just go through a whole bunch of them. They're either this or that questions, fill in the blank, that type of vibe. How often do you get 8 hours of sleep?
Never.
You don't get 8 hours of sleep?
Never.
They say it's best to get 8 hours of sleep.
I'm the type of person that functions off of very little sleep. I don't know. I know it's best, but I don't.
No, I'm right there with you. Like a good solid 5-6 hours you straight.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the nastiest food combination you've tried?
Pineapples on pizza. Very controversial, but
oh my God.
Pineapples on pizza are disgusting. They don't belong there.
And you tried it?
I have. It's disgusting.
He was like, fuck it, I just want to see what the hype's all about.
Well, yeah, 'cause it was in a work setting, and they ordered it, and they're like, you gotta try it. It's trifling, man.
Yeah, I never. I'm like pepperoni only. I keep it real basic on the pizza. When you start adding a whole bunch of stuff, you might as well just.
I used to be a pepperoni dude, but then I stopped eating red meat at the beginning of this year. So
you're just perfect, aren't you? The last guy I interviewed, he was reading the orphans in Jamaica. I was like, okay.
Oh man, yeah, I ain't that. I ain't that good.
Movie theater or movie night at home?
Movie theater. I love the movies.
Yeah, I like a good vibe. What you be doing in there? Just watching the movie?
Just watching the movie.
Just asking. You're on a date and it's not going well. Who do you call?
Oh, I don't call anybody. I have me and my friends have a protocol. I text them and then I'm just like, I need an excuse. So they'll call me.
That's smooth.
And I use the Apple Watch. I know you don't do advertisements. Subtle plug. Go get an Apple Watch. They can save you when you're in the middle of a bad day.
I need that sponsor. Go ahead.
You can text in the middle of a meeting. Apple Watch. This is the Series 5, so I'm one series behind. But subtle plug to my favorite device.
You feel like it sounds like you've done that before.
How do you know? I wish Apple paid me.
No, not that too. But when the date's not going well, you've done that before.
I have.
Call me real quick.
I've definitely used it before.
Damn, so you be like, hey, I was enjoying this. This was like a vibe and all, but I got it. My friend.
See, and my friends come up with the most outrageous excuses. One of my friends was like, I broke my leg and I need you to take me to the hospital. I'm like, what? You could have used something a little more subtle.
Yeah, that's like.
I'm like, okay.
Shout out to that friend though. Winter or summer?
Summer. I'm a July baby, so.
Hey, Cancer?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Actually, we need to spend a second on Cancer. I think people have the wrong perspective. I don't help Cancers because I'm a very sensitive nigga. But the word sensitive is that. That's also, subjective as well. Because
true.
If you're in tune with your emotions, that just means you're in tune with yourself. It's not always, being emotional when you express how you feel.
That's true.
Oh, I'm talking to a Cancer. It's not always emotional when you express how you feel. Let us Cancers live. We need all the reassurance in the world that we can get. So the next time we ask you for confirmation, just give it to us.
It's facts.
Just give it to us. And I'm an early Cancer. I'm June 25th. So I'm
July 13th.
It's my show. So I was talking about my birthday. Is she?
I mean, look, you brought me on here.
Road trip or flight?
Oh, that's hard because I like both. I've driven from Ohio to Vegas before, and then from Vegas to Texas to Ohio. But I love flying too, so it's a mix of both.
You drove from Ohio to Vegas?
Oh yeah, it was great.
That's a trip.
Well, you break it up.
FaceTime or phone call?
FaceTime. Definitely a FaceTime person.
Right off rip, you get the number, boop boop boop.
Well, it depends on who I'm talking to, but I don't really. Usually, I usually communicate through text or email, if it's a professional thing. If it's a professional thing.
I got it.
But everybody that's in my close circle, it's usually a FaceTime, her.
So when you're on FaceTime, you just go on pause immediately, you just FaceTime them, but then you go do.
Well, you can't do that with Apple no more because they got the thing where you swipe up and they can still see you. You can put it on pause, but I'm not that type of dude.
That's the dopest shit ever. I felt I was special when I finally got to it. What's the best thing to? Well, do you drink?
I do.
Okay, what's the best thing to cure a hangover?
Oh, I've never been hungover.
Never been hungover?
Never been hungover in my
Really?
life. Never been hungover in my life.
It's not really my thing either. I'm a lightweight. I can't handle liquor too well.
I like to drink, but I've never been like drunk.
What's your go-to drink?
Oh, like mixed drink or actual liquor?
What's your go-to drink, Ishmael?
Like, see, it's a different question. If I'm just drinking, I'm at home. I'm a big wine person.
You know what?
So
The suit definitely does give off wine vibes. Like fresh grape wine from like 1870. That's your thing.
Oh dear God, no. I like a good rosé. I like a good Pinot Grigio. I'm like.
No shot of Henny, no Jack, straight up.
Oh, I got some Henny. I got some.
I got some Henny. That's the only thing I could drink. That's the only thing I'm used to the taste of. Cause that shit is nasty. If your name wasn't Ishmael, what would you want it to be?
I thought about changing my last name to my first name, so Cody for a while. That stuff.
You see you as a Cody. You give off Cody vibes.
That's what they called me in like middle school.
What kind of name do you think I'd be if it wasn't Jason?
I don't know.
Like a Devontae.
You don't even strike me as that.
Like a Mikhail. Something like unique.
You childish.
You could just start saying anything at any point. And answer no.
I don't know.
I look like a Jason.
Like you look like your name starts with a J, even if it's not Jason. I don't know. Like.
Thank you,
James.
Thank you. James. Nah, I'm gonna stick with Jason then.
I mean, you do you. It's your life.
Was there anything that you that I haven't mentioned that you wanted to make sure you got on this interview?
Not really. My big thing is just making sure people are out there staying safe. They're out there, just like taking advantage of every opportunity that's available to them. I'm all just about making sure people succeed, and especially like marginalized groups like Black folk, brown folk. All that good stuff.
Is that like light skin, dark skin, Black folk, brown folk?
Black folk, brown folks, so like Black people, like Latino people, Asian folks, like racial minorities.
Got it.
That tend to be pretty disadvantaged. So like I'm just all about making sure people are staying safe, staying happy, staying like
staying happy and safe. Well, you heard it from the man himself. I do want to again thank you for accepting the invitation to come on here. This was episode 3 of the Domino Effect podcast. Make sure you check out episode 1 and 2. Episode 4 coming soon. And as always, I don't have an ending, but we're just going to end it right there. Thank you.